I'm going to move swiftly on to Netty. I won't share my screen because I'm not sure if you've got anything that you want to share, Netty, but if you come on, your picture will come up and we will start recording. So just to give you an example, Netty is a relatively new member. She is utilizing our platform. She has a group on our platform. She is building a community within our community in the not too distant future. And she has a beautiful brand, Budeful, should I say, brand down in Bude in Cornwall. And she wants to support and help as many people as she can, but she also has her passions based on where she lives. So over to you, Netty.
Well, Jill, thank you so much for inviting me to speak today. And this is something that I'm out of my comfort zone on, I'll be completely honest. However, I know I'm in a safe space with some wonderful people. And if we don't get out of our own way sometimes and really push ourselves, we don't get to the next level. And I realize that this is a great space to start telling people the story of Budeful and my journey and kind of how everything started. So just kind of cutting back to a few years ago, and Jill said to me, well, what about your why? What was your why? What is your why? How did you kind of come up with the ideas for, kind of where you're at the moment? What kind of sparked that really? And one of the things, there are two things actually. One was when I was younger, I was always an artist, always drawing as a child. From whenever I could pick up a pencil and pen, I was always creating. And that meant that I followed my passion and went into my degree course in ceramics and design. And I don't know if any of you have been on a course like this, but you have an end of year show where you present everything and everything gets thrown out, to a wider audience, and they come and walk around all the things you've created. And it's kind of quite exposing for an artist because we're always very self-critical of ourselves and the way we kind of present things. And is it good enough? Are people going to like it? Is it something that people are going to enjoy? And I remember having a little notebook that was sat for people to write notes in, to write about, the things that they liked about the work that I created and et cetera, et cetera. And one of the things that was written down was, yeah, it was great. What a great degree show. We love all the pieces you've created, and aren't they wonderful? And there was lighting on the walls. There were big sort of expanses of creative ceramics. There was all sorts of things. But one of the comments that I got was, did you try? Did you really try? Possibly, probably not. And I was like, wow, I hadn't realized until recently how that had sparked my own journey for working hard and pushing myself and pushing myself and pushing myself to the next level. So it sounds initially like a real sort of negative, but for me, it really sparked something in my belly that was, right, I can really do things. I can really push things to the next level. Have I really tried? Have I really got the maximum? Have I pushed a design to the next level? Have I given my best in a relationship? Have I looked at something in the right way? Have I really dug down into something? So for me, it was what seemed like a negative became a real positive and a real fire in my belly, if you like. And then the other thing that really kind of inspired me, and certainly in my journey now as a businesswoman, and how you can create something from something quite small that can become something really quite big, was when I visited the Motown Museum in Detroit. Now, I don't know if anybody has ever been there, whether you've ever had the experience of going there or seeing it. But it is one of the most amazing and inspirational places I have ever been. Just incredible, from Diana Ross to Stevie Wonder to Michael Jackson to just the most incredible musicians that played there, that created their beginnings, their beginning from something with, somebody with talent and passion and drive. And it was a space that was a safe space, I guess, a little bit like Collaboration Global, where these amazing artists all came to record some of the most life-changing music and inspirational music that has gone through the decades and transcended time almost. And walking around there, one of the things that struck me was the absolutely amazing way it all started. It was started by, I've written this down, established in 1959 by Berry Gordy. And he sat at his kitchen table with his wife, and they had these, and it shows it to this day. There's a whole museum there, and it's amazing. And they sat and they placed all the vinyl records into these little sleeves. And they sat there and they did it. So from something really small and a really sort of small idea, they grew this empire, this record label, and supported all of these artists. So it really got me thinking, being a creative, that actually from somewhere really small or something really small can come some of the greatest and most inspirational things that people share globally on, through time, with families, with friends. I mean, music is one of the most incredible things, as is art. So for me, those sort of two things together really have become my inspiration, and two of the sort of stories of my life, I guess, that run through the DNA of everything that I do. So for me, talking about sort of being a businesswoman, setting up a business, those are two really important things, and a message that I think is quite important to share with other people in a way that is heartfelt, is meaningful, it's unique. But nonetheless, I think quite powerful. And I know that other people have probably got their own journeys and their own whys and their own sort of powerful stories about how they came to be where they are now. So for me, those two key pieces really are important to me. And looking at the sort of bigger picture and how that sort of impacted where I've kind of got to now is creating something that is a lifestyle brand in the heart of Cornwall. I moved here 9 years ago and was walking on the beaches here and looking at the world in a very, very different way, having been on my own personal journey to get here. And bringing all of that sort of history with me and that sort of story um, was about, okay, well, here I am at my own kitchen table, here I am in my own life, and having a spark of an idea, just like Berry Gordy did, about how to take something small and grow it. And it was walking on the beaches, seeing the waste washed up on our shorelines, and thinking, there must be a way of making a difference. There must be some way of looking at how life can be changed for the better, how something that we can all make a difference. And I was like, okay, so what is my difference? How can I make a difference? How can I pull people around me to help make a difference? Um, and it was sort of looking at how, if I were to create something from scratch, what would it be and how would it look? And it was creating a retail brand that really kind of instilled all the values that I valued, which were minimal impact to the environment. How can we talk to suppliers about the various things that they could help us create that are going to make the world a better place for everybody, that we're not going to contribute to the problem, and how are we going to inspire others to do the same? So it was really sort of setting about looking at all of those sorts of values that really sort of pushed me forward into thinking, okay, let's look at this. Let's really do a Berry Gordy and see if I can create something from my kitchen table that has meaning. So really, it's looking at the sort of sustainability, looking at how we work with other people. For example, we work with a UK supply chain and other local artisans. So we're working hand in hand with other people to bring something under the Budeful name, really, to make life more beautiful, to bring beautiful things into people's lives in a way that is meaningful. And it's just bringing a message as well at the same time. It's not just about, for example, a mug that you might buy from us. It's more about how that makes you feel and the values those have, and instilling those feelings of happiness and joy and all the things that we value in life, instilled into our brand. So that really is the important message I feel I want to give. And minimal packaging as well. We don't have any packaging really on our products, and if we do, they break down and they're biodegradable. So it's all of that sort of messaging that underpins what we're trying to achieve and what we're trying to do. So yeah, I'm looking at how we can grow it, how we can communicate with others in a meaningful way, how we can support other people at the same time. It's not just about us, it's how can we make a difference? How can I make a difference? How can I support other people and other projects as well through what we're doing? So that's the kind of messaging we're wanting to kind of get out as well. So yeah, I guess some of the lessons that I've learned as well along the way, and one of the important things that I know will tie in with the kind of philosophy and the feeling in the community here, is finding your tribe, finding the people that share values that you share, the important things that you instill in your everyday life. Those people that, I've learned my lessons along the way, where, as you probably have as well, where you've found people that are the supportive people and those that haven't been quite so supportive. And the lessons that I've learned through that really are, who can I trust? Who can I say, right, okay, I've got this amazing idea, can you help me with this? And know that it's in a safe pair of hands. So finding my tribe has been a really, really key part of, of my journey, and finding those sort of core values that people share alongside of myself. So, and then again, creating that sort of, with the branding that we have and the ideas that we have, taking that a step further and helping other people with their own branding, and looking at how we can offer meaning to other people's ways of communicating, and what is it that they're trying to say, and can we help them to do that. So those are all the sorts of things that we kind of want to do, and I certainly want to do, to help other people along the way as well. So for me, I guess, to sort of sum up the journey that I've been on, it's I'd like to say that it is a beautiful life. Life is beautiful, and I would really like to share that with other people through what we do. And I think that's probably part of the important messaging of what we're trying to give. So one of the things that I wanted to share as well is that we do have something to offer everybody that's here today. And I have spoken to Jill about it. And it's something I'd like to share through the community at some point during the next sort of few days. Something that we can share that gives you an insight into what we're doing, and a little special offer. So yeah, so that's kind of sums up where Budeful is, where we are right now, and sort of where we want to go in the future, which is to align ourselves with other people who have a similar message to us, and to help support them, and for them to help support us. So yeah. And I don't know if there's anything anybody would like to ask, because I'm happy to have some questions.
Lovely. Thank you, Netty. That's a really good idea, actually. If anybody's got any questions, either you can ask them now if you raise your hand, the little icon at the bottom, put your hand up, and that'll put you in the top left-hand corner so we can see you. Or if you come to a wonderful question later on, you can always drop it in the chat space, and one of us will spot that and ask it of Netty.